Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrine. I am currently the head program manager for Magic. And today I have Eliza and Pi-Chuan, who did an amazing job this summer 2025 session. And thank you so much for the time here and for all the time invested during this session. Eliza, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Eliza D. I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior in high school. I go to Centerville High School in Virginia.
Pi-Chuan, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Pi-Chuan. I'm currently a software engineer at Google. I've actually been mentoring for Magic since 2007 or 8. So I've actually been mentoring for about 17 or 18 years. Yeah.
Awesome. To start with, Eliza, tell us about your project.
Me and Petron worked on two different projects throughout the program. The first project was we worked in Google Colab. We wrote some Python code, and with the Python code, we also worked with a big Google spreadsheet that contained a lot of nutritional information. And I came up with some questions that the answers could be coded through some Python codes. And then with the Python codes, we also made some visualizations like bar graphs, the line graphs, and scatter plots to visualize our findings about the nutritional data set. The second part of our project, we worked on Scratch, the website Scratch, and we created an interactive game about human anatomy where players could learn about the human body and learn about like where they belong in the body.
How was your motivation and how did you decide in this project?
Um, my motivation was so I've always been set on like healthcare, but of course like technology is very like getting more prominent in our world, and I really wanted to learn more about it. So I was just motivated to learn about this because I have honestly I'll say like I didn't have any experience at all before the magic program. So that's what motivated me. Is like since I didn't know anything, I just wanted to learn as much as I could. And yeah, I can say now that from Peach One, I learned so much more about coding. And I also I feel like she introduced a lot more resources that I can still access now to like build the skills that I made.
Awesome. And Pichuan, regarding the project that you both worked on during this session, what were the aspects of it that relate to you, to your work or your interests, and what were the aspects that didn't, but maybe was a learning for you or something new?
Yeah. So at the beginning, when I was talking to Eliza about projects, we considered like different possibilities. And one of them was actually like more into like genetics. So I actually worked on Google research and work on genomics. So that was a possibility. But then at the time, we decided that just 10 weeks going towards that direction, she has to learn not just coding but also like bioinformatics, and so like it was a little too much. Um, so then we decided on this current project, which is the Google Colab project, which I feel like is useful because it, like analyzing data, visualizing data is something that, going forward in the last of high school and college would continue to be useful. And one thing that was fascinating to me is that because Eliza actually hasn't learned any programming before, so to get to the point where she makes those plots actually usually would take quite a while. But this time, in addition to using like Khan Academy, Google search for materials, we also use a little bit like the Gen AI, like ChatGPT, Gemini to ask questions. And then I think that speed up the learning. One thing I also find really good is that because Eliza, even though she doesn't know programming, but she knows how to ask the right question. For example, she asked the Gen AI to write some code. And then she was like kind of double checking the sheet. She's like, it doesn't seem quite right, right? So she, even though she doesn't necessarily know the code enough to directly spot the problem, she's able to kind of verify based on the data. So I feel like that part is really fascinating.
Yeah, that's a very important point. I think more and more that is super important, this skill of critical thinking and use these tools, new tools in your favor to speed up things, but do not compromise on the quality of your understanding and the depth of what you're learning. Now, you mentioned that Peach One introduced different tools, resources that you can continue accessing after this session. Do you see how the different skills that you learned during this session may help you in college or even in your future years?
Yeah, she did introduce different like resources for me to use. I think before this, like for my age, I feel like a lot of students just access the most easy like Gen AI tools, which I would say is like Chat GPT. But I think this like what's Google Gemini, I never really used that one a lot. But I think I will start leaning more towards that. And also I think this will be very useful as I go into college because even though I don't know like what classes I'm going to take in college yet or what it will look like, I feel like just having the foundation of like what I learned with her is it's gonna it like sets me for whatever like I will need in the future because like as I said earlier, the world is getting more technology focused. So I think it will be really important for me to hold on to the skills that I've learned from her. And yeah, I think it can just be the skills she taught me can be used in many different ways. So yeah.
Perfect. And what do you feel is the biggest learning you take from this experience? It could
Um,
be like technical or also something personal, something that helped you change how you see something.
mhm. I would say the biggest thing I learned is just I think like the resources to have when learning because I feel like before I learned all this, like during school I would just kind of like the way I would like if I was like struggling with something, the way I would approach like how I was struggling would kind of just be like handling by myself, like searching stuff maybe on generative AI. But I feel like I've learned because I've never been like mentored on like any topic before. I feel like just having a mentor or having someone that can like guide you in the right direction is very important. Like I do have like a teacher at school that I can of course like ask for help, but I do think having someone like personal, like a mentor, like Pi-Chuan was very helpful for me. And I just learned so much that way, having like one-on-one like sessions. So I feel like in the future, if I'm ever like struggling on something like that, I know there are a lot of like online resources or like a lot of like online like one-on-one learning things out there. So I feel like I will try to like um do stuff more like that just because I've learned that I learn really well this way. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's super important.
Mhm.
Uh, and Pichuan, any advice, any word for Eliza for her future years?
I think she will do really well. Like in the intro I mentioned before her presentation, I think she is, she really utilized these one-on-one interactions really well. Like she does her homework, make it very clear the question that she's asking, and then like just like when she asks questions, like it was very easy for the person mentoring her to give her information. So I think that's great. And I think going forward, I would actually say Eliza is at an age probably you should also start considering that you can also mentor others, right? So I think especially going into college, I think mentoring others give you another perspective of what that interaction looked like. So maybe in the future, that'd be something you want to consider.
That's great. Thank you so much, Pichuan, Eliza. Congratulations again on the job done during this session. And I can't wait to see what else you will do in the future, Eliza. Hope you continue connected with our magic community. You will be invited to join the Discord group. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.